Hi, I'm Lauren Westwood. Welcome to my vlog, which is a busy person's guide to how to structure, write, and edit a novel. Today I'm going to do a little bit of a departure from what I've done on the past posts because there's a question that I want to address that I think needs answering. And I think a lot of writers have faced it before, and that is to plan or not to plan. That is the question. Um, so before we start, I just want to, talk again about NaNoWriMo, which is going to be happening very soon. One of the points and, the beauty of this process of writing a novel in a month is that you really need to let your creativity flow and your words flow and do that in a structured and supportive environment and hopefully grow a novel sort of organically in a month or so. Um, so that's all good and well. However, I'm a believer that you need to have at least a basic plan, which we've discussed a little bit before. Um, to me, NaNoWriMo is a big investment of your time and your energy, and if you were going to go on a car journey, for example, you would take a road map. It would be a road map telling you how to get from point A to point B, what kind of amount of time it's going to take you, where you can detour off the track if you want, have a meander through a side road, and what pitfalls you're likely to encounter along the way. So if you have a set amount of time that you're going to be writing, it certainly helps if you plan in advance and you have an idea of the route that you're going to take to your destination. If you have a little more time and you want to meander, you can absolutely go ahead and do that and abandon your plan altogether. I do believe that writing a good novel is an organic process, not a prescriptive one, and sticking to a plan, it really doesn't always work. A lot of authors, will tell you how they've had to abandon their well thought out, well outlined plan for a novel, either at the first stage of the drafting or at the editing stage, and just let the story sort of go where it wants to go, not where the author originally intended it. To be honest, I personally wrote my first several novels without too much of a plan, and it was only when I started writing a bit more complex mystery type related novels that I found that having a plan was absolutely essential. But even when I was writing those early novels, I always had a sort of a plan of milestones in my head that served kind of as beacons which could get me back on track if I got off. And by milestones, what I mean is just sort of a key scene or a key interaction between characters that I had in my head. Sort of like think about a Hollywood moment, these kind of key moments that you as a writer can really visualize in your mind. So it may be a first kiss or a fight or a breakup, really just things that you kind of know are going to be in your story. You may not know exactly where. So if you do get off track, you can go ahead and skip forward, skip back, whatever works for you. Because in the end of the day, there's no right or wrong way to do it. The goal is really to get the words down on paper. If you write a novel with a beginning, a middle, and an end, then all the rest is just editing. And as I've said before, as a writer, you're going to be doing an awful lot of editing. So in general, my thoughts on NaNoWriMo are that it's an absolutely brilliant way to get into the habit of writing every day and achieving hopefully a good body of work in a supportive environment and meeting other people who are at the same stage that you're at in your writing. As writers, we all really need external support because it can be quite a lonely task. That said, if you do end up meandering for sort of 30 to 50,000 words, it may not get you all that much closer to your goal of writing a finished, well-structured novel. And believe me, the last thing you want to do is put in all that work and effort, all that adrenaline and all that time, and end up having it just be a waste of time. Personally, if I write 1,000 words a day for a month, and I end up with 30,000 words, I consider that that's a good place to be in. However, I will say I've got an awful lot of 30,000 word drafts on my computer, things that sort of never went anywhere. If you consider that the average full-length novels maybe 80 to 100,000 words, 30 to 50,000 words gets you to roughly to the third or one-half stage. So you may have a cracking opening and you may have a good idea of where you're going at the end, but all of a sudden you're sort of stuck in the soggy middle, and the month is over, and all the adrenaline kind of drains away, and it can be quite hard to actually keep going. Um, so so therefore I think that having a plan initially, it helps to get you to continue on even after the month is over, and steer you back on track when the going gets tough. And believe me, the going will get tough at some point. And it can also just provide motivation to help you keep going once those 30 days are up. Um, so I hope that is helpful to you. And really, again, remember that the main point is to, develop a good body of work, do it organically, let your thoughts and your characters, do what they need to do, for the scope of your book. And but if you do have a plan, hopefully you have a better starting point. You can let your work grow organically and evolve, but you're sort of starting from a higher point of evolution, if that makes sense. So remember that, to keep it real, we're really trying to, get into the heads of our characters. We're trying to look at their goals, their problems, how they would react, and then, hopefully come up with a resolution that makes sense for, your novel and for your readers. So whether you plan or don't plan, I do hope you have a good, enjoyable time and a productive time. And please do let me know how you get on. I'm doing my own NaNoWriMo project, so I'm hoping that I will be able to post and let you know how I'm getting on, and yeah, we can support each other. So thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please do share it and leave a comment. Thank you very much.